Hi, and welcome to today's multicultural themed holiday styled story time. 'Tis the season. Now, next week is Christmas in July, but Christmas is usually celebrated at the end of December. And around that time, there are a lot of other holidays that happen. And today, we're going to learn about a few of them. To start off with, we will begin our opening song like normal, say hi to all the kids, which would lead us straight into our first book. And our first book of today is called Latke. Oh, there we go. Latke the Lucky Dog by Ellen Fisher. Now, this book is about a little puppy who's a very lucky dog who gets adopted by a Jewish family for the first night of their Hanukkah celebration, which is 8 days long. And they name their dog latke, after the popular fried potato dish that is served during the Hanukkah celebration. And Latke, the lucky dog, gets to spend his very first Hanukkah celebration with his family, have food, hang out with his family, open gifts, and that is a very fun book. And that would lead us straight into our first song called Let's All Do a Little Clapping. It is to the theme We Wish You a Merry Christmas, but some of the words have been changed to add a little bit more movement and just be a little more inclusive of all the different holidays around this time of year. And it goes something like this. Let's all do a little clapping. Let's all do a little clapping. Let's all do a little clapping. Spread holiday cheer. Let's all do a little stretching. Let's all do a little stretching. Let's all do a little stretching. Spread holiday cheer. Good job. And that last word can really just be changed to anything that's age appropriate for the kids at the story time. If they're a little older, they could be doing things like jumping or twirling. If they're a little younger, they could do some head nodding or swaying back and forth, or if they have egg shakers, just do a little shaking. Really anything to get the kids moving. And then we would transition right into our second book. This one is called Rabbit's Gift. It's by George Shannon. Some very lovely illustrations in this one. And this is a fable from China that is centered all around sharing and giving and really thinking about others during the holiday season, which we all can agree is such a wonderful thing. The whole idea is Rabbit just has too much food to eat on his own, so he leaves some for his neighbor, who then has too much food themselves, who leaves them for their neighbor, and this just keeps happening on and on. And it's just a really wonderful story about sharing and being kind to others around the holiday season. And we would go straight into our second song of the day, which is Jingle Bells. I got to sneak a little classic Christmas song in there. And we'll just use egg shakers or rattles or even ribbons, really anything. And you just run through that chorus a couple times, a little bit more movement for the kids. And our final book of the day is called Seven Spools of Thread. It's a Kwanzaa story by Angela Shelf Medeiros. And do you guys have siblings that you just don't get along with? I do too sometimes. Me and my sister, we fight about stuff. She'll take my shirts and it just makes me so mad. And that's what happens in this story. These seven brothers, oh my gosh, that's so many. Should we count them? Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. 7 brothers. That is crazy. Can you imagine? And just like you and your siblings, they don't get along sometimes. They fight and they argue. And then they're put to the challenge to turn these 7 spools of thread, they're each holding one, into gold. How do you guys think they do that? Do they maybe make something out of thread? What do you think they'll make? Yeah, I guess we'll just have to read the book and see. And then for an activity at the end of the story time, I would ideally have different types of paper cutouts printed, maybe some snowmen, a wreath, menorah. I found some really great printouts of the outfits similar to the ones in this last book we read, that the kids can make their own themed and design clothing, which they could take home and give to others, which would be really great. And finally, we would end with our closing song and say thank you very much for coming to this holiday themed multicultural story time. See you next time.